screen? Yes, sir. Okay. So I thought that I explained it, sub DM or sub AE might be. I think I missed it anyway. You people remember. Thank you for that. Let me check. We have the sub DM. Okay. How many variables we have it? Okay. Mhm. I think in the data we don't have the more than one races, I guess. Okay, let me find the subpage whether we have subpage. Okay, these are the dictionary variables. Dictionary variables also everything is missed. There is no use. Subcm we haven't worked. VG, VS, VS. Okay. Okay. Okay then, so I think we can try for sub DM. Let me first of all let me check that whether we have the variables. Okay, raise OTS to if needed, raise or raise 2, 3, 4. Why did it like this? All are Japanese only. Then there is no point to keep. Okay. Actually, in the supplementary, when we put the races in the two scenarios, we will keep the records. Okay, the one is that the first one is that if the subject is select the multiple races. Okay, but in this study there is no multiple races. Okay, then we cannot consider. I mean, so we can write the program, but if you don't have the data, then we are not going to get any one record. So you will not understand anything. And the second scenario, we are going to create for the supplementary QNAMs when the race other is selected. Okay, but here the other race also have not selected anything. Okay, so this everything is race Japanese, and then Russian. Okay, these two races only present. So that's why if I'll take this example and then you won't understand that when we transpose that, if you don't have the data, then it will throw the error. So there's a problem. Let me in subtree also they have. Okay, anyway, so got it. Okay, these two variables and then we'll take these two variables and then okay we'll. So they basically remember. Okay, so this is the very old spec, the old study. Okay, that's why these the dictionary derived terms. Okay, HGLT name, HLT name. Okay, these the coding dictionary hierarchy variable. So this variable based on the latest HDM IGS 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, these variables we can keep it in the parental domain, means in adverse event domain, which we can create. So this is a very old pattern. So that's why they keep like this. So we cannot put it in these variable into the supplementary, but these two variables were there. These we can write. Okay. So I'll highlight into yellow. So these two variables. Okay. First of all, let me open that AE program. Okay, so what is those variable name? AEN DST and then AEDVER. AESTEN. Where is this AESTN variable? Yeah. So this is the variable AESTEN. This is the one variable, and also there is a one more variable version. Okay. So the version which we have it here. Okay. Okay. So the version actually basically Medra version, I guess. Okay, but that is also we can that will we get from the. Okay, so anyway, so we'll create that. Okay, so until here it is fine. Okay, so then we'll do the one-to-one mapping itself. Okay, so the first of all we need to do the one-to-one mapping. This is the Q num AEN. Okay, equal to strip of this one AESTEN. Okay, remember. So the basically in the raw data we have the no values, I guess. Okay, that's why AESTEN variables. Okay, so the what we can do that. So we need to apply the code list. Okay, so in that case, okay, it will come S and Y. So in that case, what we can do, sub str of okay, then you can this of okay. Next AEDVER. Okay, dictionary version. So the basically the dictionary derived version, it will be mentioned in the raw data set nowadays, but here this is the old study we don't have. But in that case what they will do, they will check with the data management which version of SDTM, sorry, meta dictionary used. So the latest is the 27. Okay, let's assume that we can take that. Okay, the 26.0. Okay, dictionary version. So these two we can consider. So now when we run from here to here until free finally 5. So we need those two variable. So the AESTEN as well as the dictionary. We did anywhere keep statement. No, right? that variable? It's the coin error. Okay, ASTM. Oh. It's 1 comma 1, right? It is got. Okay. So here we got the values. Okay. So now what we can do that, okay? We'll write here, run here. So whenever the supplementary qnums, this variable we can say that the qnums, okay? So this data, the supplementary qnums will be in the vertical nature. So why we are saying the vertical nature? Well, we discuss the finding domains, how the values looks like, okay? So all the test series will be vertical. So here also in supplementary domain, in any supplementary domain, the same program, the qnum names would be changed. That's it, okay? So the qnums would be in the vertical, okay? When it comes to the supplementary, these 10 are the variables fixed, all are the character variable. If you go any supplementary, these 10 variables will be there. So what will add into the supplementary, this qnums will add. Okay, so now the data needs to convert it into horizontal to vertical. Why? Because in the data set we have the as a variable. So now we have to convert to as a value. So now tell me what should we do? Hello guys, so the Love and Real Show podcast is now. So before that, what we can do that, okay, we can, okay, select the things. What are the required variable we required, okay? So then we'll keep it, okay? So the data sub one set dv5 a5. Okay. So here we can assign, okay, what are the variable we can keep it? Keep study id, use subject id, and then what is those two variable names? This one and then we should require sequence as well. Why? Because we have to that relation merging we can create by sequence. Okay, so this one. Okay, so then we can run the procsort. Okay, here if you want we can assign the labels here as well. Okay, for example these two variables qnums, we can write the q labels. How we can write assign the labels? Can anyone? Okay, so what is this variable? qnum. Okay, so we just assign the labels here. So now when we run this one, okay, sub one is created. Okay, here we have the required variables, we kept it as it is. Okay, so now okay, so before transfer, what we need to do that? Okay, So the procs or data by. So here you can use the user ID and a sequence. Okay, and run. So now tell me, it's horizontal to vertical transpose, right? So how can we do that? Can anyone? What are the statements we are going to use? Out equal to new data sequence. Okay. Now what variables we need to use in the by statement? ESVPJD and ESVPs. Right, that's correct. So the next, what is the statement we need to use? Horizontal to vertical transpose, which is the same transpose we can use for the finding domains. First of all, tell me what kind of statements will be present in the transpose? By, ID, var, ID label, right? So and the copy also. So here we need to use the var. So why? Because the variable should be converted into the values. So in the var statement we will keep these two variables, right? Now should run it. Then if we run this, the value should be converted into the If you can say, there are the two automatic variables is creator underscore and underscore label underscore, and as well as the call one. Okay. My call one is dict. Why this label was not created? Oh. Yeah, semicolon. Yeah. Not with the yes. Yeah. So yeah. So if you can see that the previous these two as a variables will have, and these values in the call one, this is as a values. So now that variables is converted as a values, right? So now it is converted to vertical. So the transpose is done. Now we need to do the one-to-one mapping. That's it. Okay. And remember, whenever you are creating the supplementary domain, make sure that if your result is missing, means the call one is missing, then you should not keep that record into the supplementary. You can delete those records. Okay. The keep this missing records, you cannot keep it. First thing. And the second thing is that if you don't do the proper transpose, means you have not select the by variables properly, then you will get the call 2, call 3. So that should be a wrong transpose. Whenever you are doing the transpose, you should get only the call one. That is the right one. Okay. So when it will come like this, okay, whenever you are not select the by variables properly. So now we can start the one by one domain. Okay. So then data sub AE underscore, okay, sub AE1 set sub AE underscore T, okay, sub 1 T, yeah, sorry. Okay, now we'll write the one by variable. Okay, so this is the study ID. Our study ID comes from the already parental domain. What is our domain? What is our domain? Supplement. Related domain. What is the sub AE or related domain? AE, right? So this is related to the AE domain, right? So the R domain should be AE. any particular supplementary domain, the R domain would be the parental domain. For the sub DM, DM, sub AE, AE, sub CM, CM, sub MH, sub MH. So that is the thing, the fixed one. Okay, now ID var. So the ID var equal to, we can assign the sequence variable. Okay, always should be the sequence. Sometimes it might be the one-to-many relation, then might be the group ID ID. But here the AE sequence. Okay. Okay. So the next variable is that ID varval, right? I guess ID varval. So the ID varval equal to, okay, strip of, okay, then this is the sequence number. Okay, so this is the numeric sequence, is the numeric, we have to convert it to the character. So what we can do, use that input of AE sequence, comma, base dot. Okay. So remember, in the supplementary, all variables are character variables only. We have to convert the characters. So the next variable is qnum. Okay. So the qnum is nothing but so these variables. So where it comes now after transpose, it comes under underscore name underscore. So now you can qnum is equal to strip of underscore name underscore 1 second. Okay, next variable is that q label. So now tell me, what is the q label? So the qnum would be id var, qnum would be underscore name underscore. What would be the q val? Sorry, q label. Q label ఏమవుతుంది చెప్పండి? If this is the variable, then the label would be underscore label. So here the q label equal to strip of underscore label underscore. So the what variables will have? Okay, qval. Qval is the result one. What is the result? This one, call one. Okay. Qval equal to strip of call one. Okay. Then what is the next variable? Origin and the qval. So the qval is nothing but the evaluator, some kind of data. So the most of the cases, if the q evaluator is not captured, and then we can keep it missing. But most of the cases, q evaluator will be investigator, principal investigator. Q origin would be, we can keep it as a CRF. Why? Because this is captured from the CRF, right? So the q origin would be the CRF. ORIG. Okay, so here we can say q origin would be CRF. So q eval, we can keep it as a missing for now. Okay, so the all variables are assigned and derived. Okay, it is done. So now what we need to do, that we need to make sure that what I said, So if the result is nothing but your variable value is missing, if you can see here the call one, this is missing, this is missing. So we can remove that, okay? Here we can write one condition. If, what is that? QVal, right? QVal. Okay, so if you'll write like this, so the not missing of QVal means whenever that is not missing, those values only output, then the remaining would be not, okay? So then close and run. The numeric one is 258. Why? It is okay. It is already even. Yeah. So if you can see, this variables is created, okay, and this one, if you can see the call one, okay, it is nothing but your QVal is wherever it is missing, that was deleted, okay. So now what we need to do that, okay. Mm, mm, okay. So here we have used the ulta, okay. So actually there is already numeric, we have to convert the character, right? So it should be used the put function. So if you can see this, okay, this ID, okay, there is a spelling mistake. ID var val. Okay. So now, yeah, your supplementary data set is created. So okay. So what we need to do, we need to assign the labels. So how we can assign the labels, that you already know, right? So by using Excel, and then you can use that. Okay, for example, okay, these variables. Okay. 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 You keep this one later. Keep the variables whatever you want. Okay. So these are the variables you should. Okay. That's it. So you can put pay in SDTM. you created.
Normal step.
Where?
Upper label statement of
Okay, I have given 7 count. Okay. Study ID kept was never referenced. Study ID we have not copied. Study ID keep, okay. Okay, I think we can keep it in the by so that it will carry forward. Else you can assign here one more time, that should be fine. Yeah, so this is the supplementary data set. Okay, in any supplementary SDTM, okay, in SDTM any supplementary domain will have only these variables. Okay, so the study ID, Q subject ID, R domain, ID var val, QNAM, QLabel, QVal, QEval, and then QRG. So these 10 variables only will have. So if you go any supplementary variable programming, so the supplementary, these steps are would be same. It will only change that, okay, based on your QNAMs, how many QNAMs will be there. First you have to do the one-to-one mapping like this. So the later you can keep those variables along with your study identifier, your subject ID, sequence, and then study ID. And then later you can sort it out and then transpose. In the var you need to keep your QNAM variables. And then once you did the transpose, this program would be really same. Just you have to change this a sequence, this variable sequence name, and this will be really similar, and then this also similar. So in the supplementary domain, if you write one time, you can copy paste and edit in 1 minute. Okay, then if you go to the real time, you'll have the predefined macros. You have to pause this with QNAMs, and then that will be automatically done your supplementary programming. Okay, so that's it for the supplementary domain. Okay, so is that clear? If you have any questions? I'll save it first. Yeah, done. Is that clear? Hello? Yeah. So please practice this, okay? So, I mean, if you write one time, it will be used for all the studies. What you need to change that only these labels and then these QNAM names and then that's it. So that's it for the supplementary domain. So please practice and then come up with a question. If you have any question, we can take it up. Okay. So we have completed all these 4-5 domains, and then please go and check with the other domains programming and then come up with the questions if you have anything. So practice is more, okay. So if you listen 100, 200, 300 classes also, you will get an idea. Whenever you practice your own, then only you will get that, okay, what is the challenges and then what you have understand so far, where you are lacking. So how to practice. So that is very, very important.